Alright, what we have here is a Minn Kota Powerdrive V2. It has iPilot, but I've added a down imaging transducer to it on the bottom with the typical mount. And the usual problem with the power drives, because of the motor box it has to slide through, is you have this slack cable for the transducer that somehow you have to take up the slack. You have to give it enough room to twist on the shaft, but not enough slack to hit the prop, and that's a problem. So what we've devised is a little tension device to mount up towards the head, and I'll show you that in a second. Here's a view of it in the down position. You can see the slack cable running up alongside the head unit, or excuse me, alongside the frame and up to the head unit where it's normally zip tied before it comes back down through the cord here. Here are the supplies. I got a big long spring with an incredible amount of flex. It's probably only 5-6 inches long at best. The ends of them are wire. So I bought these grommets right here that I can put inside the wire ends. That way when it contacts either the wire or other parts of the trolling motor, it won't abrade the wire or damage anything if I zip tie it or somehow lash it. This is a little stick-on 4-way connector for a zip tie, and this is a wire, like a wire clamp. And I bought a plastic one for the transducer cable. Pinch. I'll show you how that works. It's going to attach my transducer cable to the end of this spring here. So what I've done is just run the transducer cable right next to the bottom attachment. I drilled a small hole in this little solid metal cast piece here to zip tie the cable to very low. That way when you pull the trolling motor up, the locking thing has to lock onto this lip here. So that gives it plenty of space in between there. If you follow the cable up to the frame of the trolling motor housing here, I mounted a little stick-on zip tie square here, and that guides the wire up at all times. It's a guide just alongside the shaft here. It's almost as far back on this little hump as you can get it. I did have it mounted further forward, and the problem there is the wire guides up through here and then gets caught when you put the trolling motor back up. It's caught about right there or in here. So moving this back here is a great location for that guide. Now for the important part is up higher. You can see I zip tied the top of the spring with a grommet underneath the trolling motor head housing. There's actually some holes there that feed right through to the other side for a zip tie. It worked out really perfect. And then the spring comes down, and I've got it attached to this clamp here, to this wire clamp. See if I can get it focusing in here. Anyway, the other end of the spring is just clamped onto the wire. So if it keeps tension on this wire, so it's not loose and whatnot, and if I turn the trolling motor housing or the trolling motor at all and it needs more cable, it just lets it out and then pulls back up on it when it's not needed. So actually works out pretty good. That's the down position. Obviously you can adjust tension as you want, and then I'll show you the up position. And there's the up position. As you can see around this side, you can see why you need that little zip tie mounted as far forward in this area as possible. Otherwise it's just going to catch on this the landing spot for your trolling motor, the motor housing itself. So just a little tip there. So looks pretty good so far. I have to give it a test out on the water.